I'm John Krause. I'm the Safety Director for Farmington R7 Schools. I've been at this role for since I believe 2009. I want to talk a little bit today about really there are a handful of things in safety that are going to get you in trouble, with keeping kids safe, but also civilly and legally that can cause you some liability issues, and how we've addressed that. To start with, to kind of harden the building a little bit, and the first thing that we need to do is be able to manage access into the building. So we've hardened the building a little bit by adding a visitor vestibule. Okay, so throughout the day we keep all of our doors locked, including the main entries to the building. We have a visitor entrance that allows for an individual to be buzzed in by our administrative assistant that works our visitor desk. We know that we can kind of keep access to one point, which is what we're looking for. Primarily, we know that that's not going to keep people out of our buildings, but it is going to slow them and help us better manage who's in the building, and if need be, provide response more quickly. We really utilize and rely on the integrated KIDaccount system to manage who's in the building and know who's in the building at any given time. So once a visitor has come and they've rang the bell and they've spoken with our administrative assistant, and the administrative assistant has determined that yes, they need to be in the building, then that visitor is going to enter. They're going to approach the ballistic glass. You can see the kiosk here. They're going to tap visitor check-in, and then they're going to pass their information through the window. The administrative assistant is going to scan that. It's going to run it against the sex offender registry. It's going to print a badge, and then she will pass that back to. The next step then is going to be for her to call for assistance if the person doesn't quite know where they're going to be. So we're going to escort them to the building. As you can see, the badge has the visitor's name, their picture, and where they are headed. So anybody can see that, stop them, have a talk with them. If they've got the yellow badge, they're going to let them go. If they don't have the yellow badge, then we know that we need to get somebody to make sure that that person is in the building or needs to be in the building and address it appropriately. We've talked about the visitor management system, the KIDaccount's visitor management system, and now we have the capability of knowing who's in the building and that process. I want to talk a little bit about managing the students that are in the building as well. So besides our student information system, KIDaccount has worked to seamlessly operate with our student information system, so we have up-to-the-date information. Of course, KIDaccount syncs nightly with our student information system. However, when a student comes in late or they're not here and they come in late, they have the ability to sign in at a kiosk that is located by our attendance secretary, and that gives us up to the minute information that student's here. If a student signs out, and of course we get that clearance, we're always verifying like we should, but when that student signs out, again, they just come to the kiosk, they sign themselves out. In addition, to make it easier, because KIDaccount is always looking for ways to simplify the work for school districts, they can create IDs with barcodes on them, and the kiosk have scanners on them to scan that barcode, and it signs students in or out automatically, which is a nice quick feature to make things easy. In addition, another feature of the student sign in and out is the ability to monitor when we have students that are leaving during the day to go across town, whether it's for A+ tutoring, whether it's for an internship. If they're going to another building, they're going to sign out at our building and they're going to sign in at another building. What that does, there are parameters that are set up in the computer so that if we have a student that doesn't show up in time, whether it's they're doing something they shouldn't, or they get in a car accident, we're going to be able to get a notification when they don't sign in that allotted amount of time, so that we can check on the well-being of that child. It's a magnificent feature to have. So we're keeping track of visitors, we're keeping track of students, we have to keep track of staff as well. It's a little bit more difficult to get staff to follow directions sometimes, but again, KIDaccount allows the same process for staff to sign in and out that they would sign with students. So we ask teachers, if you're leaving, to please check out in the front. They're going to sign themselves in when they want. If I'm traveling to all the different buildings with my role, I'm going to sign in every building that I go in. I'm going to sign out in every building that I come out of. That's not so central office can keep track and make sure I'm doing my job. That's so if we have an emergency and they need to find me, they know that I'm in the building or I've left that building. What we now have, we have one single point of access. We have a hardening of the structure to slow progress in and speed that response. And now we have, at any given time during the day, KIDaccount gives us the ability to know exactly who's in our building to the minute. So, what I haven't quite mentioned enough of is probably just the fact, the work that KIDaccount has done to seamlessly integrate all of these features together. With other products, you're getting something here, you're getting something there. KIDaccount has really worked hard to integrate and become, the top of the line, gold standard for managing who's in your building, knowing where they're at, and all of their features working in concert, which takes the work off of the school district. It reduces the amount of training that has to occur, from our pickup system to our sign-in system to our hall pass system to what we're getting ready to talk about with emergency management. The integration process that KIDaccount has put in is unparalleled from what I've seen. So during an emergency, you've got to be able to account for kids efficiently and safely. And what we've learned from tragic events around the United States, that reunification is often the piece during emergency response that is the hardest to implement. You've got a lot of parents that are terrified, kids that are terrified, and schools haven't done the work ahead of time to do what they need to do to have a safe and efficient reunification. Reunification is another area that KIDaccount seamlessly integrates in with. They've been doing dismissal for years. They've got that down, and probably even more important than KIDaccount knowing what they're doing there, teachers have used this product and are used to the features that are already there with dismissal and other things, and it's the same type of thing that they're going to be seeing when it comes time to reunification. So the time spent on training, we don't have to retrain every time we go to a different process, a different procedure, a different response. All of those things are going to be taken care of, and it is something that those teachers have seen. They know how to work. They're doing it daily, which is so much better than training it once or twice a semester or twice a year. So it really does alleviate some of those concerns of a safety director when you're trying to teach and educate and train and practice. They're practicing every day. I mean, what an advantage. So at the end of the day, the features that the integrated KIDaccount system uses is just incredible, from teachers using it at kindergarten, whether it's that building or they're transferring to another building. It is the same process from building to building. If we move a substitute from the high school over to middle school, or she's working at one of the elementaries, that process, the care from that pre-K student all the way through our 12th graders, they're getting the same care. And unless you have a product like KIDaccount, you're not getting that same quality, that same care from K through 12th grade, from building to building. So again, just that integration of the system, that integration of their features allows for what that kindergartner, that pre-K is getting all the way up to high school with those 9th through 12th graders. As a safety director for several years, I'm very proud of what we do as a district, but the fact that we've brought KIDaccount in and allowed them to take over our ability to manage who's in our building at any given time, and work in conjunct with accounting for students in emergencies and reunifying families, I just don't think a school district can go wrong.